What's up? This is Will. Welcome to Will's Wheel, where we don't reinvent the wheel to success. Today we have Ken Cole, a truck driver. It's going to be an awesome episode. Check it out.
Man, I was born in Monrovia, California till about my 8th grade summer. I moved to Pasadena, California. I ended up going to John Muir High School, pretty well known in the sports world. All my family from the Monrovia, Duarte area, and then all my friends, they is from Pasadena. So it's kind of, you went from, the blue gang to the red gang. Can't really intertwine the two, but we make it work. I was football mainly, boxing, but once I got to high school, the hustler mentality kicked in. My dad ended up leaving for a little bit. I was used to Jordans and used to all of this stuff, and now it's just my mom. She got remarried, but I need them J's. So I was like, get to work. Got jobs and the hustles on side of that.
So with Pop's not around, you think that shaped your childhood or how you view life?
I think about that actually a lot because I got a little brother. He was through the same circumstances as me, but he didn't go to prison. He got married. He living a good life. To me, it just comes down to really choices, because me and him, same circumstances, and maybe his might have been even a little worse than mine as far as with his living conditions, because we got the same dad but different mom. The living conditions was a little different for him than for me. But like I said, my little brother, never been in trouble, married man, got a career. Everything's good. Mine went a little different, a little rougher in the beginning, but we got it together now. So I say it matters, but at the end of the day, it still come down to choices.
Speaking of choices, I know you mentioned doing a little bid. So what was the turning point for you that you saw, I need to make a change in my life?
With me, it was I was riding that line, one foot in the street, 1 foot solid. I always had a job, but I always was doing the wrong thing too. I was living two different lives. That catches up to you, because sooner or later you gonna have to, that fork in the road comes, you're gonna have to make that decision. I always knew the entrepreneur way was my way, but I just wasn't playing in the right arena with it.
I'm glad you mentioned the fork in the road and choosing which side of the track you're gonna be on. That's what I try to tell a lot of young cats coming up. You got to make a choice, man. Either you're going to be doing your thing in the street or you're going to do the legal thing. You can't do both.
Can't do both.
I knew many of cats that, that was a downfall. Whatever you're going to do, be true to that and do it 100%, because, you can lose your life out here.
Yeah, you got to give your heart to it, man, because, the streets don't play fair. But that question, though, when I was in there, I think the whole time, I knew when I came back, I was already solid. I had a game plan, and I wrote a list. I actually still got the list in my office of all my goals. And so far, it's only one thing on that list that I ain't accomplished. Everything on there, from house, cars.
I did the same thing. I still got my book in there, my notepad. I wrote down everything from movies, books, what I'm accomplished, invest in, and everything came to fruition. So I feel you on that.
That's big. I would tell anybody that's either in there or coming home and got plans, write it down. See it every day. Look at it. Say it to yourself. Materialize it. Your words have power. And once you start laying it down, what you want to do is you got to go show the action with it. You can't just say, this is what I'm going to do, and then you don't go do it. But I guarantee you, if you start showing action, once you write it down, the universe going to open up. Certain things just going to become easy. You giving off that aura now. You meeting certain people that, oh, you do this? That's what I'm trying to get into. It's not a coincidence. The universe then opened up. Now you just got to walk through that portal and go get what's rightfully yours.
What did you do to garner your success once you touched down?
I had already written out a game plan. So it was basically stick to the script. I made sure that I didn't go back to Pasadena. I went to Covina, so that put me on the outskirts. So I didn't want to deal with nothing that I didn't have to deal with. That helped me tremendously, meaning people didn't have access to me. I was a pretty popular guy with the ladies, and a lot of people knew me. You don't want to get sidetracked. Now you worried about the girls. Now you worried about going to parties and clubs and all that. But I got a purpose right now that I need to go attack. I wanted to go into the trucking field. As soon as I came home, I enrolled in a trucking school and went full force with it.
Tell us about the trucking game.
Well,
Drop some knowledge on that.
Yeah, well, that's cool because everybody that's timid, I got some tips I can give you. I'm gonna start by talking about me and Will. I met Will. What was the program called, Will?
It was referee, so it was a re-entry program.
So I met Will there. He threw me a option. Like, hey, there's some other things you could do that can get money, all legal. Schooling. I remember he told me, hey, you might want to sign up with that. Go sign in on the book and then go to this school out here that was in LA. But when I went, they put me on a long list. That list was ended up being a year long. So just to show you that everything don't just happen real quick. When you speak certain things, they happen. Mind you, all my game plan was to get my own truck and do everything. The day I bought my truck, 2 days later, I ended up getting a call from that school saying, we're ready for you. But at that point, it's too late. I had already bought the truck. It was like, nah, we don't want you doing that. We want you to stick to what you were gonna do, because this is what you're meant to do for this point in your life. So I first started out, my niche was hot shots. So basically you got like a Dodge Ram, a big Ford 3500 dually type of truck, a 40-foot flatbed on the back, and you moving loads. Not a big rig setup, but you still need your Class A because of the length and the weight that you'll be pulling. I started doing that in 2015. I came home in the end of 2012. My actual Class A, it only took me a month to get that. It don't take you long to get your Class A to go get you some bread. I had hindrance because my charge was dangerous. They wouldn't let me go out of state lines, and my charge happened in Arizona. So they weren't trying to let me just, wiggle around. So I had a PO that was like, nah, we can't authorize you going a long distance over the road. Trying to get on with some trucking companies. There was roadblocks there too, because some of them wanted you to be out a certain amount of time, and then the other ones wanted you to have the experience. But how you gonna get the experience if nobody give you a job, right? No excuses. I had to go full force. I grinded, bought me a truck, and the rest is really history.
Did you already have experience with stick shift?
No.
I know guys just straight terrified to go take their Class A. How did you tap in mentally to overcome that?
When you know what you're here to do, you're gonna stick to the script. That stuff ain't as hard as people say. Plus, if you in the school, it's easy. You're gonna be doing this every single day until it's time to go to the DMV and take the test. And on another note, you do not have to have the shifting. You don't have to have that on your license. All my trucks are automatic. That will limit you though on job placement, because some companies might only have stick shifts. Most companies now are going automatics. It just makes more sense. It's less wear and tear for new drivers, tearing your gears up. Go to school. It only take you a month. Trucking is the reason why it's so big. You can get your license so quick and get out there and get to some real money, and then become an entrepreneur, become your own boss in a matter of really like 6 months to a year. You living on that road, and if you're coming from, you've been down for a minute, you're used to living in tight quarters. You're gonna have your own refrigerator in there. You're gonna have a bed. You're gonna have your covers, your pillow, and you're gonna be making money that whole time.
Nah, it's crazy. You
Stacking up bread.
Man. I always tell dudes that too, especially if it's done a lot of time, like 10 years plus.
Yeah.
They kind of don't know what they want to do. I said, bro, get in trucking. Get the DMV book, study while you're in there. You don't necessarily got to stick with it. That's just a foundation to build on. Build you a foundation.
Get you some money in your pocket, some decent money in your pocket, and also the opportunity to keep the bills low, because if you always on the road, you don't need no apartment. If you always on the road, you don't need no car. It's a step up from where you was as far as comfortability, but you're going to be used to it because, tight quarters. The whole thing is get readjusted, put some money in your pocket, and also you've been down for a while. You getting to go experience all these other states.
So it's going to be somebody watching it and they going to say, I'm on parole, I'm on probation, I can't go out of state, so I can't do it.
Look, when there's a will, there's always a way. I ended up getting it to where I petitioned it with my parole officer, and because I was clean, I think it was 4 or 5 months when I finally petitioned it to him, and they ended up giving me okay, you could do it. Now, I had certain things I couldn't do, places I couldn't go, but for the most part, it's like, we're gonna let you run. That is easy. From the standpoint of owning a company and doing all of the work that it entails. I don't just drive the trucks. I got to do the invoicing. I got to get the work. I got to, I got to deal with my customers. I got to deal with, QuickBooks and all of these, the accounting software to be able to receive stuff. But far as if you just getting out and you get into a truck, man, it's self-explanatory. Stay out of trouble. Don't run into nothing. Obey the law. Stop at the stop sign and just be careful. It ain't hard. It just take you to be focused. Keep your DMV record clean. That's the number one thing in trucking. Keep them points off your record. Everybody's going to want to hire you. That first year, go with the JB Hunts, the Swifts. And also, these guys, they pay for your trucking school. They pay for your trucking school, and they're going to give you a job at the end. It ain't going to be high ticket money, but the key is you done got your school paid for. You getting some money in your pocket. You traveling around, getting the experience. So now you've been saving up all your bread. Listen, you can buy used trucks, man, for decent prices. Now you're doing your own thing. That's what I'm pushing. Entrepreneur. Get it going, but take it to that next level.
What's something you see a lot of new truck drivers doing that you would say like, don't do that?
Jumping into it a little too early without knowing all the ins and the outs. You gotta know what you getting yourself into. Get the experience, cause like, for instance, let's say you did like me. I did it wrong. I just said, F it, I'm going to go get a truck and start. Don't do that. I'm gonna say this the reason why. What if I didn't like it? Now I got a truck, I got a note, I got insurance, I got all these bills to take on. I should have worked with somebody for a couple months, get the experience on their dime, tear up their transmission and all of that, and then like, oh yeah, I like this, let me continuously do it. So yeah, you definitely want to mess with a company first. Don't ever feel like this is the only thing for you. And I'm pretty sure with this channel, Will's definitely gonna show you guys options. That's what it comes down to give y'all as many options as possible. This is just one.
Realistic options from real people.
Yeah. This ain't no Bitcoin.
Yeah. I'm big on build you a foundation first, man.
Yes, sir.
And then two, man, it's nothing wrong with having a regular career. Everybody's not meant to be a boss.
There is nothing wrong with that. It's there. You just gotta focus in and go do it. I done had so many setbacks, and most of them not from my doing. We had COVID, as you guys well know. That set me back tremendously. I'm not going to say numbers, but I'm going to say I was doing very, very, very well. And COVID shut down some of my businesses. With the hot shot business, I was selling containers. So those cargo containers you see that come off the ships from overseas, those are the containers I was selling. And I would move them also with the hot shot setup. I told you guys, the 40-foot flatbed with the dually truck. So two different businesses inside of one, because I charged for the movement and charged for the sale. Then I had a this right here, dumpster rental company. And then I finally had bought a big rig in 2019. This is all before COVID. And we were going into the port, Los Angeles ports. COVID came, shut. All my work comes from pretty much the port. The containers that I sell come from the port. The containers with the actual load inside of it comes from the port. And most of the containers come from China, mainland China, where they said COVID was coming from. So, I mean, for about a couple weeks here in California, in this LA area, in the IE area, they shut it down or you couldn't move. So I ended up losing that actual truck due to it sitting for 6-7 months, man, without work. I got tired of paying the note on it. It was bleeding me. The container work, 2020, it didn't affect me. 2021, they didn't have them for wholesale no more. The price for a container like doubled, almost tripled. So now I can't even resell them to the residential and the businesses. So it put me out of business with that. So I lost 3 businesses in pretty much 1.5 years. I started a dumpster rental company, which I still do now. 2021, somebody ended up stealing my dumpsters. I mean, you got to take it on the chin and you got to be ready for it. Things going to happen. And when they happen, you just got to be prepared and understand that entrepreneur life, that's success. It ain't just like this. It go like, you know, man, it's worth it though. It's worth it. But that's why it takes solid individuals, man, to really become somebody and do something.
So you would definitely say stack before you start really getting out here playing.
Listen, I got 6 months of mortgage money. No matter what, I'm not losing that house. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. I mean, I'm just going to throw this out. We'll even ask, man, get your credit right. The credit will, like in times like this where it's rough, man, you use the credit cards to lean on a little bit in case, you know, things happen. Everything is cycles, man. Everything is cycles. You're going to have your good time. You're going to have your bad time. You just got to be ready for that bad time because it's going to come. None of us are you know, immune to that. It's going to happen. You got to be ready for it and prepare for it to take advantage of it. If you do the niche that I was in, which is Hot Shot, which is the dually truck, you know, the 4 wheels in the back, you know, 3500. I love Dodge. That's my favorite brand. I got 3 of them, all 3500, 6.7, turbo diesel, Cummins engines. I mean, it's Cummins engines, man. You don't get no better than that. You know what I mean? But the Aisin transmission, it's a bulletproof tranny. Just a great truck. I haven't had any problems with the truck other than normal wear and tear. When you go to the big rig, I mean, the pretty boys is the Volvos and the Petes, you know, the Peterbilts. Me personally, the truck that I lost, that was a Volvo. I liked it. It was good. I can't complain with that one. I have now a Freightliner, Cascadia, double bunk. I ain't having no problems with that. And also, guys, it's automatic. Both for the Volvo and this one, we got automatics. Don't be scared of the, you know, the switching gears. As far as with me, my process is more of, I don't like micromanaging people. I like to give you the duty for the day or the week, and you just handle it. Only call me if there's a problem. I'm working. Trucking is basically a solitary type of lifestyle. So I try to keep you with that. I like you to understand that we're professional. All I want you to do is get the job done. Far as drinking and smoking, unfortunately with trucking, that is a big no-no. With my company, we got random testing. And it's not even when I say it's going to happen. Was the FMCA, when they send it to my company, like, hey, you need to send such and such in here to get that random testing. It's coming from the higher ups that, you know, that's making sure that you're running on the up and up with your MC and your DOT numbers. And mind you, a lot of y'all might be on parole, coming home, or probation or whatever. You already know that's a big no-no. At my company, we don't hire people that smoke. I feel 2 different ways about it. It's definitely going to hinder it. But I think the timeline, I mean, just trucks, these EVs, they don't got enough battery life to sustain long distance haul. But this local stuff, like what I do from the port to the IE and all around LA, yeah, it's gonna affect that industry because soon the ports are only gonna be allowing those EVs in there because they clean, supposedly. But the long haul, I don't think it's gonna happen with that so quickly. I think that's gonna take a longer time just because the battery's don't got enough charge to go 1,000 miles. The long haul drivers, which is the OTR on the road drivers, I don't think they're gonna be impacted as quickly as a company like mine running local runs in 100 mile, 150 mile radius. So, you know, we're gonna clash a little bit. It's the number one thing. Without your health, you got nothing. No health, no wealth. I had a bad back one day. I couldn't get up and go get the job done. I couldn't do it. It took me 3 days to get back, you know, back right to where I wanted to hop in the truck. Pretty sure y'all know the stereotype truckers, big stomachs, flannels, oversized people. You know what I'm saying? And it's real. It happens because while you driving, you know, you drinking your Coca-Cola and, you know, you eating your chips and you eating honey buns and your wham whams. Here a couple months later, you look up, you didn't gain 25 pounds, 50 pounds, and you like. But it happens that quick because you're just sitting down all day. You got to take healthy snacks. Yeah. Because you got a refrigerator most of the time. Make sure that you got your fruits, you got your waters, you got some nice, you know, good healthy snacks. Because it'll creep up on you truckers. Even with that, with us in the trucking field, we got to take a medical exam every so often from the DMV.
Yeah.
If you do not pass your medical exam, they do not give you your Class A.
You got to keep your health on point, man.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
go get the money, do all that, but you can't enjoy it if you dead or you sick, can't get out the bed and
Facts.
move around.
You hear people say it, but it's real for me. The competition is just me. I just want to be better than I was last year. And that means physically, you know what I'm saying, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. I don't stay stagnant. I like going like this. Even when I go back, it's just a learning lesson to make better decisions in the future. Everything that happened in 2020 and 2021 with me. I mean, most people that would crush them, losing 3-4 businesses, that's it. Game over. You tap out, go find a job and work your way up. But, you know, me, I work too hard for this, man, to give it up. Just got to keep fighting. Reliability, that's one of my main things, especially in this field. When you get those brokers and you get those shippers and they like, oh, this guy's reliable, that team's reliable, they going to keep throwing you work, going to keep sending you to work, and then soon you're going to be able to kind of like, hey, man, this is what I'm taking it for. Either take it or leave it. And because they've been dealing with other people that's not reliable, they're going to give you what you want. The other one is keep making goals. Keep setting them goals. Once you achieve them goals, make another list. Keep seeing them and you keep talking about them. It got to happen. And the doors are going to open back up. Be better than you was last year in every way possible. And keep networking. That's another big key. You don't know who you're talking to or who you're going to run into. And as long as you always got a good attitude, you always coming correct and polite, people going to give you opportunities. They're going to just come into your world. One more thing I want to say that's on top of my list too is just adaptability. Adapting to all the situations. Because life's going to happen. You're going to have kids. You're going to have situations. Life is going to throw some curveballs. Everything ain't always going to be peachy. So it's about being able to make the best move that you possibly can for yourself and your family. So if you can adapt to any situation, chameleon style, just adapt, you're going to be all right, man.
Definitely, man. That was powerful, brother. Thanks for coming. And thanks for dropping that knowledge, man, and bringing that spirit through, man. I think it's definitely going to resonate with the viewers. You know, not no gimmicks, nobody jumping on here like, oh, yeah, man, it's all good all time, every time.
Made $1 million yesterday. 2 days at work.
Just now while he's doing this interview. You know?
I'll definitely keep you updated on the next time we're hiring at Ninth Crown. I want to talk to Will and try to get some type of program that we could do to get, you know what I'm saying, people out, get them, you know what I'm saying, get these licenses and get them on the road, man. Definitely help, you know, society out by getting them back on their feet.
Thanks, Ken, man, for coming through and dropping that game for us, man.
Man, thank you, brother. I appreciate it.